Let me ask you something. When a plumber has a leak in his own house, what pipe does he use? Not the cheapest one, not the one he installs in new builds, the one he actually trusts. Same with electricians, same with mechanics, same with anyone who sees behind the curtain of an industry every single day. So I started asking appliance repair technicians, people who open up refrigerators for a living, who see exactly what fails and why and how often. One simple question. What refrigerator is sitting in your own kitchen right now? The answers were surprisingly consistent, and they were not the brands you see advertised the most. In this video, I am going to tell you exactly which 3 brands repair professionals actually buy for themselves. Not what they recommend to customers, not what the store pays them to push. What they went home and bought with their own money. But before I get there, I need to show you what they are avoiding. Because understanding why they reject certain brands is just as important as knowing which ones they trust. The refrigerator used to be the most reliable appliance in the house. Through the 1970s and 1980s, a good refrigerator lasted 20 to 25 years with almost no problems. The compressor ran. The seals held. You forgot it was even there. Then 2 things happened. Manufacturing moved to lower-cost facilities, and private equity bought up most of the major appliance brands. Whirlpool absorbed Maytag. Electrolux absorbed Frigidaire. Samsung and LG expanded aggressively into the US market. And the priority shifted, not to building a better refrigerator, to building a cheaper one that looked better on the showroom floor. The result is a refrigerator that is more complicated, more feature-heavy, and dramatically less reliable than what your parents owned. Here's the number that tells the whole story. In the 1990s, Consumer Reports data showed the average refrigerator lifespan at around 17 to 19 years. Today, that number sits at 10 to 15 years for a standard unit, and significantly lower for some of the most popular models on the market right now. You are paying more, getting less, and replacing it sooner. That is not an accident. There is one specific part that repairmen point to over and over again when they talk about why modern refrigerators fail early: the compressor. The compressor is the heart of the refrigerator. It circulates refrigerant, maintains temperature, and runs quietly in the background every single day. In older refrigerators, compressors were simple, heavy, and nearly indestructible. A failed compressor was rare, and when it did fail, replacing it was straightforward. Today, most major brands have moved to what are called linear or inverter compressors. The manufacturers advertise these as more efficient, quieter, more advanced. Some of them are. Some of them are a disaster. LG's linear compressor, used across their entire refrigerator lineup for years, became the subject of one of the most widespread class action lawsuits in appliance history. Hundreds of thousands of owners reported compressor failures between 3 and 7 years of ownership. A $2,000 refrigerator failing before the kids finish elementary school. LG settled the lawsuit, extended their warranty on the compressor to 10 years in response to the backlash. But the units already in homes, the trust already lost, that does not come back easily. Samsung has a similar story. Their French door models have been flagged consistently by repair professionals for ice maker failures, control board issues, and compressor problems. Replacement parts are expensive. In some cases, repair shops simply refuse to work on them because the parts availability is so poor. And then there is the budget tier, brands like Frigidaire and GE at the lower price points. The compressors run fine, but the plastics crack, the door seals fail early, the ice makers give out within 2 or 3 years. A refrigerator that needs a service call in year 2 has already failed you regardless of whether it is still technically cooling. Quick question before I get to the 3 brands. How long did your last refrigerator last? And when it went, what failed first? Compressor? Ice maker? Something else? Drop it in the comments. I want to see if the data repair technicians are seeing in the field matches what people are actually experiencing at home. Okay, the 3 brands that repair professionals actually buy for their own kitchens. Number 3, Whirlpool, but only specific models, and only if you know what to look for. I know, you just heard me say Maytag and Whirlpool have declined, and that is true for a lot of their lineup. But here is the nuance that most people miss. Whirlpool still makes a segment of their refrigerators, specifically the simpler top freezer and bottom freezer models, with the same basic compressor design they have used for decades. No touchscreens, no craft ice, no internal cameras, just a compressor, a thermostat, and a box that gets cold. Repair technicians love these because when something does go wrong, the parts are universal, cheap, and available everywhere. A repair that would cost $800 on a French door Samsung costs $150 on one of these. The rule here is simple. The more features it has, the more things there are to break. If you buy Whirlpool, buy the boring one. Top freezer. No ice maker through the door. No Wi-Fi. Nothing that requires a software update. It will not impress anyone at a dinner party. It will be running in 20 years. Number 2, Miele. This is the premium answer, and I want to be upfront about the price. Miele refrigerators start around $3,000 and go up significantly from there. So this is not the answer for everyone. But here's why repair professionals respect Miele more than almost any other brand. Miele designs their appliances to a 20-year standard, not a marketing claim, an engineering standard. Every component is tested to that lifespan. They manufacture the majority of their own parts in Germany, rather than sourcing the cheapest available components from the lowest bidder. And they guarantee spare parts availability for a minimum of 15 years after a model is discontinued. That last point matters more than people realize. One of the silent killers of modern appliances is parts obsolescence. A manufacturer discontinues a model, stops making parts for it, and suddenly your 3-year-old refrigerator is unrepairable because the control board no longer exists. Miele commits contractually to not doing that. If you buy a Miele refrigerator and something fails, you can fix it 15 years from now. That is a promise almost no other brand will make. Number 1, and this is the one that comes up the most consistently when you ask repair professionals what is sitting in their own kitchen. Sub-Zero. Sub-Zero has been manufacturing refrigerators in Madison, Wisconsin since 1945. They have never been acquired by a private equity firm. They have never been absorbed into a larger conglomerate. They are still independently owned, still focused entirely on refrigeration, and still building products to a standard that has not changed because a quarterly earnings call demanded it. Here is what sets them apart technically. Sub-Zero uses a dual compressor system. One compressor for the refrigerator section, one for the freezer. This matters because the refrigerator section needs humidity to keep food fresh. The freezer section needs dry cold to prevent freezer burn. A single compressor system has to compromise between the two. Sub-Zero does not compromise. The result is food that stays fresher, longer, with dramatically less waste. Their compressors are also built to a commercial standard. Sub-Zero originally made refrigeration equipment for commercial use: restaurants, hospitals, research labs. The residential product was built on that same platform. A Sub-Zero compressor is not expected to last 10 years. It is expected to last the life of the unit. The price reflects all of this. Sub-Zero starts around $4,000, and the flagship units run considerably higher. That is a real barrier, but repair technicians who own them will tell you the same thing. They bought it once, and they are not thinking about refrigerators anymore. Here is the simple version of everything I just said. Avoid refrigerators with complicated features you did not ask for. The ice maker through the door, the internal camera, the touchscreen, the app connectivity. Every one of those is an additional failure point. The refrigerators that last are the ones that focus on one job, keeping food cold. If you are buying in the $800 to $1,500 range, buy the simplest Whirlpool top freezer you can find. It will outlast every French door model at double the price. If you are buying in the $1,500 to $3,000 range, look seriously at Miele. You are paying for longevity and repairability, not features. If budget is not the primary concern and you want to buy a refrigerator one time, Sub-Zero is what the people who fix refrigerators for a living chose to put in their own home. Check the warranty. Check the compressor design. And before you buy anything, type the model number into Google, followed by the word compressor. If a class action lawsuit comes up in the first 3 results, walk away. The refrigerator is the one appliance that runs every hour of every day for every year of its life. It deserves more thought than most people give it in the showroom. Now you have the information to make that decision the right way.